Something has been pressing on you lately that you cannot fully name. Not one specific problem, something more like a pressure across the whole of your life. You have been waking up tired before the day has even started. Plans that excited you back in January now feel strangely distant, like they belong to a version of you who had more runway, more certainty, more fire. You have been showing up, being responsible, carrying everyone and everything. And yet, that feeling of doors quietly closing, of momentum slipping through your fingers, no matter how tightly you hold on, has been completely real. I need you to hear this before anything else. You are not imagining it. You have been inside one of the most concentrated karmic pressure tests of the past decade. It was designed specifically and intentionally to push you to your absolute limit, not to break you, to prepare you. And as of tonight, that test is over. The window of your old reality is sealing shut in the next 24 hours. Not poetically, mechanically. The celestial configuration that has been holding your life in suspended tension, keeping you waiting, questioning, unable to quite leap no matter how ready you felt, is undergoing a complete and irreversible structural shift between the evening of April 8th and the early hours of April 9th. The universe is not rearranging the furniture in your life. It is demolishing an entire wall to reveal a room you did not know was there. And once that wall comes down, there is no restoring it. The old ceiling, the old loop, the old version of your story, it will not survive what is about to happen in the sky tonight. Now every single person alive will feel the impact of what is coming. But there are 3 specific signs of the zodiac that have been cosmically positioned for something far more targeted and transformative than a general shift. 3 signs the universe has essentially written a new beginning for, in ink, not pencil. I am going to tell you exactly which 3 signs they are, what is being unlocked for each of them, and what every one of you must do in the next 12 hours to step fully into this opening. Stay with me to the end. If your sign is on this list, what you are about to hear is not information. It is a confirmation of something you have already been feeling stir inside you. Let us look at what is actually unfolding in the sky, because once you understand the mechanics of this moment, the exhaustion you have been feeling will snap into focus like a photograph that was always there but slightly out of frame. April 8th, 2026. This morning, at 8:04 a.m. Eastern Time, the moon crossed the threshold into Capricorn. The moon moves through each zodiac sign roughly every 2.5 days, shifting the emotional climate of our lives like a tide that never stops. But Capricorn is not just any sign. Capricorn is the mountain goat, patient, sure-footed, capable of ascending vertical rock faces that would exhaust any other creature. When the moon is in Capricorn, she holds up a clear, honest mirror and asks, "Look at what is real. What have you actually built? What are you willing to claim as yours? Have you been feeling that particular flavor of weight today? Not quite sadness, not quite anxiety, but something closer to a reckoning you did not ask for?" That is the Capricorn moon conducting her final examination. She is not doing this to punish you. She is doing it because she knows something enormous is arriving, and she wants to make certain you are ready to hold it. At exactly 8 o'clock this evening, Eastern Time, Mars crosses 0 degrees of Aries. He comes home. Mars is the planet of drive, initiative, personal power, and forward motion, the cosmic warrior, the part of each of us that knows when it is time to stop being polite about our own lives and simply claim what belongs to us. For the past several weeks, Mars has been moving through Pisces. Imagine a wildfire contained inside a swimming pool. The energy was present but diffuse, dissolving before it could build real momentum. Many of you have felt this as a strange flatness, motivation rising and falling without landing anywhere. That was Mars in Pisces. Tonight, Mars steps out of the water and onto solid ground. He enters Aries, the sign he rules, the sign forged to carry his nature fully and unapologetically. The dam breaks, not in chaos, but in clarity. Every bit of that contained, circling energy suddenly has a direction. And here is what makes this ingress historically rare. Mars is not walking into an empty sign. Waiting for him in Aries are three major planets already established there. Saturn at 6.5 degrees, Neptune at 2.5 degrees, and Chiron at approximately 18 degrees. Saturn, every foundation stone you have quietly laid in your life over these past years. Neptune, the clarity about who you truly are beneath all the roles you have played. And Chiron, the deepest ache in you that is ready to become your greatest source of power. Mars arrives and sets the entire constellation ablaze with purposeful, forward-moving fire. Neptune has only recently entered Aries for the first time in 165 years. The last time Neptune was in Aries, the modern world as we know it did not yet exist. We are standing at a threshold no one alive has stood at before. Mars entering Aries tonight is the signal that it is time to stop standing at the threshold and walk through it. Have you been feeling a pull toward something new lately? Not just a wish, but a pressure from inside that has been building even as the outer circumstances said, wait? That is not restlessness. That is readiness. Throughout history, the moments that carry this quality of Mars and Aries activation, the returning fire, the shattering of ceilings everyone had agreed were permanent, tend to produce what historians later call the turning point. The moment that divides before and after. May 6th, 1954. A 25-year-old medical student named Roger Bannister ran 1 mile in under 4 minutes, something the entire scientific and athletic world had declared physiologically impossible. Respected physicians had published research stating the human cardiovascular system simply could not sustain that pace over that distance. The 4-minute mile was not a record to beat. It was considered a hard biological ceiling, a wall built into the body itself. Bannister broke it. Within 46 days, another runner had broken it too. Then another. Then dozens. The ceiling had never been physiological at all. It had been a collective agreement that a thing was impossible, which kept it impossible until one person refused to agree. The moment the story changed, the physical reality followed. The limitation you have been carrying, not because it is truly real, but because the evidence around you has been more convincing than your own knowing, is ready to break tonight. Now travel forward to the winter of 1980. A group of young American college athletes faced the Soviet Union hockey team at the Lake Placid Olympics, a team so dominant for so many years that opponents described them less like rivals and more like a fact of nature. The Americans were given virtually no statistical chance. Their coach, Herb Brooks, drilled his players not only in technique, but in identity, asking them night after night a single question: who do you play for? He was training them in the bone-deep certainty of a claim that had not yet been earned on paper. On February 22nd, 1980, they won. Not because the odds changed, because they changed inside the odds. The question the universe is placing before you tonight: do you know, with that quality of inner certainty, why the life you want already belongs to you before you have earned it on paper? Now, the 3 signs. The first chosen sign is Aries. If your sun, moon, or rising is Aries, Mars is your ruling planet. He governs your life force, your capacity to initiate, to claim space, to be the first one through a door no one else was brave enough to open. While Mars has been in Pisces, you may have felt your volume turn down, the drive present but dissolving before it crystallized, plans rising and fading, the fire going out before it could catch. Tonight, your ruler comes home into a sign already holding Saturn's authority, Neptune's vision, and Chiron's healed wound. This is not an upgrade. This is a complete reinstallation of your original self, before the exhaustion, before the compromise, before the years of making yourself smaller for spaces that were never built for your actual size. The gift the universe is placing in Aries' hands is what I call the gift of first step. You have been carrying a beginning inside you, a decision, a claim on your own life, and you have known what you need to start. What you initiate between April 9th and April 25th will carry a momentum completely disproportionate to the effort you put in. You do not need the perfect plan. The universe will build the road beneath your feet as you walk. Have you been waiting for a sign that it is safe to begin? You are watching it right now. The second chosen sign is Capricorn. You have been in a season of investment, the quiet, unglamorous kind, where you do the work and do not yet see the returns. Where you lay foundation stones and wonder, in the dark moments, whether the building will ever rise. Where you watch people around you receive things easily while you continue the slow, disciplined labor of being the most responsible person in every room. The Capricorn moon today seals that season. She is doing the real accounting, not measuring what is missing, but counting what you have actually built. And when Mars enters Aries tonight and steps into the sign holding Saturn, your ruling planet, what has been invisible is about to become visible. For Capricorn placements, the domain receiving this activation most powerfully is material and professional reality. Career recognition that has felt perpetually delayed, arriving now, not as a windfall, but as earned acknowledgement with real weight. Financial resources that have been frozen, beginning to reorganize in your favor. A door that has been locked for a discouraging length of time is opening. And unlike doors that open quickly and close just as fast, this one opens because you are structurally, genuinely ready to walk through it. The gift Capricorn is receiving is what I call the return on patience. April 9th is a collection date. The universe sees what you have built. It has always seen what you have built. And now, it is ready to show you that. The third chosen sign is Scorpio. Mars is Scorpio's traditional ruler. Before Pluto was assigned to this sign, Mars governed Scorpio entirely. Every significant move Mars makes therefore resonates in Scorpio, not on the surface, but in the deepest, most private layer of who you are. The underground reservoir where your real power lives. The months before this moment have likely involved a profound private reckoning, a truth that could no longer be avoided, a pattern that required direct confrontation, possibly grief, possibly anger, possibly the recognition of something costing you far more than you ever acknowledged. Scorpio's transformation never stays cosmetic. It always goes all the way down. When Mars enters Aries tonight and activates Chiron, the wounded healer, Scorpio receives the completion of that alchemy. The excavation, the private letting go, it converts. It stops being wound and becomes fuel. What has been underground comes up. What has been hidden becomes the source of your most visible power. The gift Scorpio is receiving is what I call the emergence of the real self. Not the self constructed for other people's comfort, the self forming in the depths of you, slowly, privately, with absolute determination, for a very long time. April 9th begins the externalization of that self. People around you will perceive something they cannot name but cannot ignore, an authority that is not performed because it was built entirely from the inside out. For the other 9 signs, you are standing in the same light. The 3 chosen signs are simply receiving the most concentrated dose of this activation. Taurus and Libra. This Mars ingress speaks to you through the domain of commitment. The deliberation phase is complete. Your decision does not need more information. It needs your yes. Cancer and Pisces. Your gift arrives through emotional clarity. The feelings you have been carrying are about to reveal themselves as direction. What moves through you on April 9th is not random emotion. It is your soul showing you the road. Leo and Sagittarius. Mars in Aries amplifies your natural fire. Channel it intentionally towards something that matters beyond external approval. Build something you would build even if no one ever saw it. Gemini and Aquarius. The mental clarity available to you is remarkable. Ideas that have been circling without landing will crystallize. Act on the strongest one within 72 hours while the energy is fresh. Virgo. Mars in Aries forms a challenging angle to your sign, which means this is a period to be intentional rather than reactive. Discernment is your superpower right now. Trust it. So what do you do tonight? On April 8th, while the Capricorn moon holds her clear, accountable light, I want you to do what I call a threshold inventory. Find 10 quiet minutes. Take a piece of paper and write 2 lines. First line, I am no longer available for. Complete it with the first 3 things that rise, not the spiritually approved answers, but the actual patterns, obligations, and internal agreements that have been costing you more than they are giving you. Second line, I am ready to receive. Complete it with 3 specifics. Not abundance in general. What form of abundance? Not better relationships. What quality of connection? The Capricorn moon rewards precision. Give her the actual blueprint. Place that paper somewhere you will see it first thing tomorrow. When you wake on April 9th, before your phone, before conversation, read it. Not as a demand, but as a statement of readiness. I am ready. I know what I am releasing. I know what I am opening to receive. That is the whole practice. The Capricorn moon does not ask for pageantry. She asks for honesty and precision, and those are already inside you. The waiting was not a punishment. The exhaustion was not a verdict. Every wisdom tradition teaches the same truth. The emptying always comes before the filling. The silence before the music. The dormant field before the harvest. What you have been experiencing was not an absence of progress. It was the necessary clearing of the ground for something that will have roots, something that will not need to be rebuilt again next season. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are standing at exactly the right moment in exactly the right life, because every part of your history built the container for what is coming next. Before I let you go, one final image. The word Aries comes from the Latin for ram, the animal that makes a path in the very act of moving through the landscape, that does not wait for a road to exist before it begins to walk. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac because it is the energy of the very first yes, the step that comes before the map, the beginning that does not wait for permission. When Mars returns to Aries, the universe is delivering one clear message. The preparation phase is complete, the threshold is open, and the time to cross it is now. I want to invite you to leave one word in the comments below. One word that names who you are choosing to become on the other side of this threshold. Not who you have been, who you are becoming. Trust the first word that rises and write it down. Because naming something in a space where others can witness it is one of the oldest and most powerful acts of intention available to a human being. The universe listens to what we declare. Declare your becoming tonight. If this video brought you clarity or relief, please give it a like. And if you are not yet part of the Vibration Wisdom community, this is exactly the moment to subscribe. Please subscribe because on April 10th, I will release a video about the most important cosmic shift of this season, and you need to be prepared. What is opening for you right now is not small. It is not temporary. It is the shift your soul came here for. And I will be right here, showing you the map, every step of the way.